Hello there, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Lessons with Guitar Man. My name's Aaron, and I'll be your designated driver here today for this great song, Bill Cheatham. This is the melody of Bill Cheatham, and one of the coolest songs I've learned over the years. Now, this song is not the easiest tune to learn, but if you stick with it, I think you'll get it. The hardest part of the whole tune is this little thing right here where you're going... Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right in there and see how this thing works. First thing I'd like to point out, if you haven't noticed, is this song is in the key of A, so you're going to go ahead and put a capo on the second fret here, and this will put us in the key of A, but we're playing out of the position of G. So here in the first measure, you're going to see we've got 3 quarter notes followed by 2 eighth notes, and the first 3 notes are going to be open, 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 and those are all going to be downstrokes. So again, you're going to have open, open, open. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Open, open, open. Now the next 2 notes are going to be eighth notes, and that's going to be a down, up, and this is going to be on the G string or the 3rd string, and it's going to be open, 2, or down, up. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so let's go ahead and put together the whole first measure now, and that's going to sound like so. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And one last time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open, 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 open 2. Alright, and moving on to the next measure, here in the second measure, you're going to see we have 2 strings of eighth notes. And the first 4 notes are all going to be down, up, and that's going to be 4, 2, open, 4. Or down, up, down, up. And counting this out, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, open, 4. And the next 4 notes in that measure are also all eighth notes. And here we're going to have 2, open, 2, open. So let's put that whole measure together, and it's going to sound like so. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 4, 2, open, 4, 2, open, 2, open. Moving on to the third measure now. So what we're going to do here is open, 2, and again that's open, 2, or down, up. And then we're going to follow that with 2 down strums on the top 3 strings with our pointer finger. Is a little C triad here, and it sounds like that. Okay, and you're going to go down, down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so if we put those 2 eighth notes and the 2 quarter notes together in the third measure, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, now the last 2 notes are going to be an open, 2. And those are both going to be down, up. So open, 2. And that whole measure together is going to sound like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, moving on to the fourth measure, you're going to notice this is all eighth notes again, so everything's going to be down, up, and the first 4 notes are going to be coming straight down the G pentatonic scale. For those of you that know your pentatonic scale, that's going to sound like so. 3, open, 3, open, or down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, down, up. Now the next 4 notes are going to be 2, open, 2, open. And what I like to do here is leave my finger planted so you get this note ringing while the top note's ringing too, and it gives you this bell type effect that sounds like 2, open, 2, open. And those are both down up, so down, up, down, up. Right, now that whole measure together is going to sound like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first 4 measures all together are going to sound like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, good job. So moving to the 5th measure, we're going back to a G chord. And what you're going to notice here is we have the exact same notes that we have in the first measure of the A part. So there's nothing new that we have to learn here because we already learned this lick on the first measure of the A part. And then if we go to the 6th measure, you'll also notice that this is exactly the same as the second measure that we learned in the A part, which is the same as the 6th measure. So there's nothing to learn new there over the G chord. Now when we get to the 7th measure of the A section, there is a new lick here over the C. All right, and you'll notice here this is all 8th notes again. It's going to be all down ups. The first 4 notes are going to be open, 2, open, 3, open, 2, open, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, open, 2, open, 3. And the last 4 notes of the 7th measure are going to be open, 3, 3, open. So 1, 2, 3, 4, open, 3, 3, open, or down, up, down, up. So that whole measure is going to sound like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 8th measure of the A section here, or the first ending, has 5 notes here, and we're going to have a 3, open, 3, hammer, open. So that little line with the H over it is a hammer-on, meaning you fret it here on the 3rd fret and hammer to the 4th fret while this is still ringing. So 1 pluck, 2 notes. 3, open, 3, 4, and then the last note's an open G. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, down, hammer, down. Looking at the second ending here real fast, you have the exact same ending as the first, except at the very end of it you have a 3, 5, which will take us into the B part. So the last 4 measures of the A section are going to sound like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. The second ending, or the 9th measure of the A section, you're going to have at the very end of it a 3 followed by a 5, which is going to take us into the B part. The B part here is definitely the hardest part of this song, and we're going to have what amounts to 3 triads we're going to be playing over, and that's going to be this little G triad, a little C triad, a little D triad, and then that G. Okay? And the strumming pattern that we do over each one of these chords, if you look at the first measure over this G, is going to be B string, G string, back to the B string, and then the high E string. So you're going to have 3, 4, 3, 3. And that pattern is the exact same pattern you use over all 3 of these triads. So you're going to have 3, 4, 3, 3, or B string, G string, B string, string, E string, okay? Or down, up, down, up. Then when you move to the next triad, or this C chord, it's the same thing. Although the notes change and you're going to have 5, 5, 5, 3, it's still B string, G string, B string, E string, or down, up, down, up. Okay? So if we string both of those together, we're going to have 3, 4, 3, 3, 5, 5, 5, 3. Okay, so let's count this out. 1, 2, ready, go. 3, 4, 3, 3, 5, 5, 5, 3. So now moving on to the 11th measure, or the second measure of the B part, we're going to have a D and a G chord. And again, we're going to do the same exact thing here we did on the C chord, except move it up 2 spaces and do the B string, G string, B string, E string, or down, up, again, but in this case it's 7, 7, 7, 5. And then the last note, we're going to squeak back down here and grab this G. 7, 7, 7, 5. And then we're going to squeak with our pointer finger here back to the G. 1, 2, 3, 4. The last 2 notes of the 11th measure are going to be open, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now moving on to the 12th measure, we're going to have 3, open, 3. Down, up, down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, down. Okay, and now moving on to the last 4 notes of the 12th measure, we're going to have open, 2, 3, open, or down, up, up. So that whole measure is going to sound like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, down, down, up, down, up. All right, and moving on to the 13th measure here, we're going to have down on 3, so 3, open, 3, open, or down, up, down, up. All right, and the last 3 notes of the 13th measure are going to be 2, then a 3, 5. So 2, down, up. All right, so the first 4 measures are going to sound like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now moving down to the 14th measure, in this B section, the first 3 measures of the B part and the second 3 measures of the second line are the same. So in this B part, the 10th, 11th, and 12th measures are the same as the 14th, 15th, and 16th measure. The only thing we have to learn in this second line of the B part are the 2 endings, and those 2 endings go as so. First 4 notes are going to be 3, open, 2, open, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 3, 4. The last 3 notes of the first ending are going to be open, 3, 5. So open, 3, 5, or down, down, up. So that whole measure is going to sound like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. that's going to take you back to the B section for the second time around. And the second ending is exactly the same as the first ending, except instead of putting the 3/5 in there, we just take that out and play. Let's play the last 4 measures of the B section here, and that'll sound as so. 1, 2, ready, go. Now let's go ahead and play through this whole Bill Cheatham slowly now. We're putting together the A part and the B part, doing each part 2 times, and that'll be a wrap on this tune. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, that's a wrap on Bill Cheatham. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. If you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out to me at lessonswithguitarman.com, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll be seeing you down the road.